Hey, welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Joining me, I've got Dr. Bill Sterett with Vail Summit Orthopaedics, one of the sponsors for our live programming. Dr. Bill, thanks for being here.
Thanks so much, Mark. You and I have known each other for a long time.
I mean, I think when I first moved here 23 years ago, I think you did some work on my knee, and I got to probably get it reevaluated.
We can do it right after this show.
Things have changed dramatically. All right, I want to talk about you. You were initially a part of Steven Hawkins.
I was.
For quite some time. You transitioned over to Vail Summit. Tell us about that new program for you. And you also are a part of the women's alpine ski team. You're the lead physician for that.
You bet. I spent 18 years at the Steven Hawkins Clinic, was managing partner, made this transition about 6 or 7 years ago with some great group of guys. We started a research foundation about a year and a half ago, and I'm just having a blast. I've been the head doc for the U.S. women's ski team now for 20 years. Boy, it goes fast, yeah. 4 Olympics, I think 10 World Championships, and it's just been a blast for me.
Let me ask you, so let's talk about Lindsay real quick. Has she been a part of the women's U.S. ski team for that long with you?
She has. Her first Olympics was my first Olympics, 2002, Salt Lake. She and Julia Mancuso were 17-year-old little up-and-comers in the ski team, and she just killed it there.
That's pretty fascinating. Really, you have probably some great stories. But let me ask you this now. We're going to segue in. You're talking about the women's ski team, men's injuries, women's injuries, snowboarding versus skiing.
Sure.
I mean, how do you define that? What does that look like?
Let's talk first about snowboarding and skiing, because this is so much fun coming up here, seeing this half pipe, seeing how steep this is, how high they go. The ski team, they go fast. They're going 70 miles an hour down an icy slope with nothing but Lycra and a helmet on. Here, it's not about speed, it's about height.
Yeah.
And when they're getting 50 feet up in the air, you see Shaun White going up as high as he does. It's unbelievable. I can't imagine how high and how hard they're landing on some of these
Really, that's got to be, you need to be thinking about how you're going to absorb that impact, or it's probably going to really wreak some havoc on your body over time.
Boy, it sure does. I mean, it's gravity's not, big guys like you and I, gravity isn't our friend, is it?
No, the lower you are, the better. All right, so then tell me about alpine skiing. Like, what's between the men and the ladies? Like, what's the difference there?
Sure. So women in general in sports, and that's been my world for about 20 years, is professional women athletes. And women have a much higher injury rate, especially the lower extremity. And there's a lot of anatomy reasons that we don't need to get into too much. It's how they're built. I mean, they're built a little bit more knock-kneed than you and I. They tend to land a little bit straighter. They've got some other factors that predispose them, and it's just tough. It's a tough world because women tend to get hurt a lot more frequently than guys in cutting, twisting sports.
So were you just down in Pyeongchang?
You know what? This is the first Olympics in 20 years. I stayed home, and it was great that I did. One of our racers got hurt in the slalom, and they flew her back here, and I had to operate during the Olympics back here. So it worked out great. But for the first time, I got to watch the Olympics at home with everybody else, and I just had a blast. It was great.
And not only, you've been involved with the World Championships also. It's not just about the Olympics.
Yeah.
I mean, that only happens every once in a while. The World Champs every year.
Yeah, the World Championships are a special event in the alpine world because it's just alpine racing, and it's 2 weeks of intense, big thing like this, the Burton World Championships, but it's 2 weeks of Alpine World Championships.
It's like condensing the Olympics all into just alpine skiing for that amount of time. It's pretty fascinating.
It sure is. It's been a lot of fun. It's hard to believe I've been here as long as I have because it's just been a wild and fun ride. You and I have known each other.
What a great place where we live, right, Bill? I mean, really. And if it's not Burton, then it's the GoPro Mountain Games, and then it's Birds of Prey, and the Beaver Creek Culinary Festival. There's events all the time for everybody.
Everything, yeah. We see you at all of these events, don't we?
Yeah, and I'm going to start looking for you, too, and your wife. I saw you both at the fashion show yesterday.
Yeah,
what a good turnout that was.
We had a great time last night at the Girl Power, supporting women's empowerment for a great cause, and you were the MC of that.
That's right. All right. Hey, thank you.
Thanks so much, Mark. Great to see you again.
Enjoy the Open with your wife. We're going to take it to weather next, show you what's going to happen. Is the sun going to be out? So we'll let you know.